I'm joined here by Dr. Paul Bate from UK Space Agency. Paul, thank you for joining us. You've just announced £6.6 million in funding for a range of international science partnerships and STEM education projects. Tell me, in your view, how does this help the development of the UK space sector?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about both of these announcements. Let's start off with that £2.3 million in the Space Science and Explorations bilateral fund is what we call it. So we've just announced another 4 missions that we're going to support in collaboration with other countries. And that includes something called the Helioswarm mission, so a NASA-led mission that is going to have not just one satellite, but a cluster, 9 or more satellites, flying in formation through the magnetosphere, making sure we really understand the impact of the sun on Earth and really protecting us, because clearly without that understanding, we are in real trouble when there's a major solar flare. So those sorts of bilateral programs bring space to life. They allow us to do more than we can do as any one country. That's just over £2 million as part of a £20 million program. We're also spending a £4.3 million grant supporting STEM education. That's helping children to be inspired and to learn more about science, technology, engineering, and maths. And we're using space as the catalyst for that. We're working with a group called ESRO UK and the National Space Academy in Leicester. These are professionals who understand how you go so much further than just having one great conversation in a classroom with an amazing picture from the James Webb Telescope, great though that is, into courses of education that inspire, teach, help children to harness the power of space, understand about space and how it impacts our daily lives. And hopefully they will go on to pursue careers in science or engineering, and some of them pursue careers in space.
And what role is it that the UK has here? You know, why is the UK the right country to be leading on some of these initiatives that you speak to there?
So the UK is a spacefaring nation. We have been for generations. We've always been working in space since the 50s and beyond. But the truth of it is that when in the UK, we're combining that really great space heritage. Do you know that we make more satellites in Scotland than in the entirety of Europe? Right. But we've got that heritage of space combined with 4 of the best 10 universities in the world, combined one of the great financial sectors of the world. And in space, we deliberately take this approach that the government is there to help, to enable, to build the infrastructure that allows companies to develop and allows that inspiration of space to come through into people's daily lives. Now, whether that is exploration and discovery, or whether that is focusing on climate change, when over half the data that we need to understand what is really happening with our climate, that data is coming from space. That's just one of many applications that make space so important for life today.
Reflecting on recent happenings on the Virgin Orbit shutdown, for example, what impact do you think this will have, that those maybe not successes will have on the future of UK spaceports?
Yeah. In January, the very first rocket launch from the UK, in fact from continental Europe, happened. It did not get the satellites into orbit. It did actually get to space. Every part of that incredibly complex sequence of events, from all the legislation, the regulation, the licensing, making sure that the range, that as the rockets departed from the 747, it was all safe. We knew what was happening downstream. Everything worked all the way up to that fuel filter on the second stage. Space is hard. But what did we show? We showed that the UK has the capability. We have an operational spaceport. And of course, we will go again. Next year, we'll see launches vertically from Scotland, both on the Shetland Islands and the top of the mainland, Sutherland Spaceport. So I was pretty excited last year. I'm even more excited this year. If we thought it was easy, we'd all have got here by now. Space is hard, and we've seen that globally with the number of launches that haven't been successful. But having shown that we are space capable and launch capable, now we move to the successes and onward cadence of launches as we become the leading provider of small satellite launches across Europe.